Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Inez Antonio, burn survivor. If you're new here, hi, welcome to my channel. Consider subscribing and watching to the end, because the tips I have for you may help you or anybody else that you know. These tips that I have written here on my books, on my little book here, it's from my own experience. It's not from anybody else's experience. I'm speaking from the first-hand experience. All right, so here I have 5 mistakes that people in an abusive relationship end up being hurt or unalived. So let's go. Number one is when you give a notice to the abuser. In this case, you tell him like, I no longer want this relationship, I am leaving you. That's exactly what I did. I am leaving you. I no longer want to deal with you. I don't want you next to me. I don't want to deal with you. I don't want to see you ever again. You were just not what I hoped for. Goodbye. I packed my things and I left. He let me go. But did you see how close I was? I could have been killed in that house. You know, he cornered me a few times when I was busy packing. Wasn't easy at all. The police were there later on. This is when I managed to pack my things and leave. You know, at that moment, I could have been killed. He could have done anything to unalive me. So, this is why he drew out a plan. Even after I moved out, he followed me. He spied on me everywhere I was, so he could kill me and my daughter, not our daughter, my daughter. You understand? So it was so bad. You understand? So the number 2 is meeting an abuser for a talk. Meeting with an abuser for a talk. They're gonna call you, obviously, after they let down their ego a bit and try to lure you into their abusive space again, you know, to pretend and act as if everything is better and please forgive me, I have changed, I promise to work on it. Can we meet for a talk? Big mistake, don't do it. I did that. So what happened was, he said he had a present for me and my daughter. And I said, no, we don't want your present. But he knew that every Sunday I have this thing. It's been part of me. Taking my daughter out, spoiling my little one, you know, with the little monies that I make here and there. I always budget like some 300 rand. I take my daughter out. We eat something small, you know, and then we come back home. So from where I used to live in Sydenham, Linksfield, it was just a walk away to restaurants that were in nearby area, shops as well that I wanted to get something as well for our house. So every evening, whenever I came back from school, most evenings, I took Ariel for a walk, my daughter. So he knew my route. So he wanted to meet me so we could talk. But guess what? He knew I was not going to settle to meet up with him wherever he chose, or even if, but he knew my way to the shop. That's the way I use. So he followed me and waited for me at the end of the street, next to, it's a corner street, my house, and then the end of my street. He waited for me there for him to throw acid both at me and my daughter. So much hate, eh? He's a monster. So number 3, telling a friend or family where you're going. Okay, don't tell people where you're going or where you are. Don't tell your friends and family where you are, because if those people, it depends. If the family is not in contact with an abuser, if your family is overpowered by this abuser, could be a man or female. Okay, I'm talking about abusers. Abusers are 2 types here. There are woman abuser. There are women which are very abusive. I know a few. And there are men which are very abusive as well, which I've been, my situation and other people's situation. So if you want to leave the abuser, do not tell your friends and family, the ones that still have contact with him. Don't trust everybody around you. Pack your things when he is not around. You understand? And even after being beaten by this abuser, you just stay, try and make peace. He's of course gonna blame you for everything he's done to you, but you're the one who's the victim, you're the one who's hurt. But don't fight. Do not. Just make peace and promise him that you will stay for as long as he stay. Like, don't worry, it's okay, and I forgive me too for like making you angry and all of those things. But the moment he goes for work or she goes for work or something, you gotta pack and leave. And when you pack and leave, don't tell your friends and family that are still in contact with this guy, with this person, with this woman, or with an abuser. Do not tell, because if you do, he will find you. He will find you, and he will potentially unalive you, you know. For me, with me, he knew he wouldn't call anybody because I wouldn't tell people my story. I was just keeping it to myself, but my babysitter knew what I was going through. But, you know, and her mother knew what I was going through. And so they knew, and they didn't like him at all. They didn't like him at all. So he had to like try. Whoever he tried, it never worked, you know. So he knew, because he's not people's people. He's a very angry, bitter person. He doesn't have friends. Nobody likes him, you know. Yeah. So do not tell where you're going. And I suggest, after you leave, actually this is number 4 now, after you leave the abusive relationship, brothers and sisters, do not stay in the same area. Don't stay in the same city. If you can pack your life away and go immediately. Get out in another town, in a different area or something. Get out. Go stay somewhere where people don't really know you. Some people may know your story, like my story. Some people know my story through the social media, but you don't know where I live. Yeah, so don't tell, just pack and go. Don't tell these people. Don't live in the same area as the abusers. Even where the situation happened, I moved areas far away, and yeah, pack and leave. Just go to a different town, you know. Pardon if it's Johannesburg. Johannesburg is big. It's huge. Sorry, my friend is calling me. Okay, so sorry, I had a phone call. So do not stay in the same area. Move areas. Move. I know you have your job there. I know you have your whole life there. I know you have your friends there. I know. I left people that I knew, I felt comfortable living around. I had my friends, like, they turned into family. I had really nice people in my life. I had to leave all of that, and those people still be in contact with me over the phone, actually. So yeah, yeah, leave. So the last one, which is number 5, do not stay in contact with an abuser. Don't have contact with them, because the more you have contact with them, they actually potentially think that they have a chance, and they own you. They think you're theirs, and they just treat you like a piece of their property. They will actually do anything for you, anything to you, you know. Maybe you think you're trying to be civil, and we still have to speak. We still have to go for coffee. We still have to be friends. Don't be friends, even if the kids are involved, even if the children are involved. Do not be friends. I know there is some sort of like a maintenance. Go to court. Get a court order. Get all of these things. I know sometimes it's not easy to get all these court orders and whatever. But don't put your real address in protection order. Do not put the real address over there. Go to court. Apply for that. Take him to court for him to pay maintenance if you have children. Yeah, just the maintenance, and money comes into a bank account. And do not trust him with anything. And be careful, because guess what? Most of the time they use children to actually get to you. They can kill a child to actually, they know that they don't have the chance to have you with them in the same room, because you've been refusing all sort of contacts. So they're gonna want to, I want to see my child, even if they never liked that child in a relationship. I want to see my child, and then they do whatever to a child, so they can get back at you. I've seen so many stories where a mother trusts him because they're co-parenting. She left this abusive relationship. She trusted him with a child, knowing that he's a narcissist, a monster, evil. So he's never hurt a child before. But remember, he's mad at you, the mother, who carried the baby for 9 months, who went to the hospital. If he had 27 stitches like me, oh my God, I pushed, you know what I'm saying? So if you had the 27 stitches, you know the pain, you know the feeling, the labor pain and all of that. You know, whatever you worked for, it went down the drain in vain. And that was almost nearly taken away from me by that monster ex-boyfriend of mine. He's not even my daughter's father. But yeah, So what you do not manage, try maybe to actually get the court. The kids can decide when they're 18 if they want to see their fathers or not. But otherwise, do not let your children next to these people and then he's gonna get involved in a different relationship, and then him and his, maybe he's gonna attract another toxic person, and then him and this person, they're going to be like torturing you, you know. Some women are very evil out here, very, very evil, very evil. Be careful. Your exes, most exes get the most horrible person that they get involved with, and they help your exes come back with these horrible angers against you, you know. Just be careful. So yeah, do not go in contact, stay away, change your phone numbers, change your email address, change everything, change, and completely just, yeah, you can't trust anybody, you can't trust this person, you know. So that's the video for today. These are the mistakes that I've made. I told him that I was leaving, and then, you know, he followed me around, he spied on me, came to my workplace, my school, wherever I was, this person was, just for to see how narcissistic this person is. And didn't meet up with him, but he came into my area, even though he set up something for me. He kept saying, you know, one time I was actually told that he would come to my area. My house is just like there, and he would stand over here on the street somewhere, park his car and sit in it and just wait to see me going home. And likely most of the times when he came to my area, sometimes I wasn't at home at all, because sometimes I would sleep at my clients' houses, you know. I would, because I used to do hair, you know, so most of them are wealthy women and have big mansions, and I'll sleep over there. And sometimes I'm in the house or I'm studying and I don't come outside at all. I don't go outside the gate. So luckily the house had big walls, you know, so you couldn't really see. Yeah, he followed me around. He came and waited for me there, spying on me so he can have the chance to actually kidnap my kid. I even told the babysitter, don't take the child out, don't go anywhere with her, you stay here, whatever you want, you let me know, I'll get it. So just in case, because I did not trust him at all. And yeah, telling your friends and where you're going and where you're gonna be and what's the situation and you're gonna be moving from there to there, most of these people have a very good tongue. They make you believe. They're good brainwashers. Whatever they do, mind game, they make people around you turn to be your enemies. My friends turned against me, thinking I was the problem. Then they realized he was the problem all along. Everyone, nobody believed me. Later on, when I got burnt, everybody, oh, Ines, he's such a monster. He's da-da-da-da. I was like, shh. I lived it. You did. I told you. You didn't believe me. That means the friendship we had was just one-sided. It was just me looking at you as a friend, not you looking at me as a friend at all. You never believed everything I said, so it means you didn't trust me. And that's where our friendship had to go down the drain, you know. The more you grow, the more you see that most friendships that we've been having along the line, many of them from wherever, some parts of life, not all of them are meant to be staying forever. I still have 1-2 people from my past which are so amazing to me. Yeah, and they've always believed in me. They've always been there for me. They've always, when we have like genuine conversations, those are true friends. And whenever I'm stuck and I say, you know what, I need somebody to speak with, and they come over, they talk to me, we sit and we have conversation, we meet up for coffee and all of these things, you know. Yeah, so that's my mistake, you know. Yeah, don't stay in the same area, move out. I lived in the same area because the area was mine. I lived there before him, 10 years before he moved into that area. I lived in Houghton, then I lived in Norwood for a bit, and then I went to live in Linksfield. This is where he came and joined me. Big mistake. I shouldn't have, you know. And then after I moved out from the place where we were renting together, I moved into my own little cottage, which is me and my daughter had our own private little life. And he knew where I was, where my house was. It's just walking distance from where his house was, the house we were renting together was, you know. Yeah, that's crazy. Sometimes he knew that I had a smartphone. I had like a BlackBerry, and he would contact me still, send me messages with different numbers. My mistake is not to change the numbers. Don't go contact with them, and don't change your numbers. Change your numbers completely. I didn't change my numbers until 2000 and I think is it 15 or 16 that my number changed. I was very attached to my old number. I had it for years and years and years, you know. Yeah. Now, well, he had my numbers. Even if I blocked him, he still got new numbers, you know, and contacted me and see my pictures on my WhatsApp. And then at that time, you could still see people's pictures on WhatsApp, you know. Now you have a chance to block the people. They won't be able, but if somebody has a different cell phone number, they could still see your profile picture. But even if they have no contact with you, even if you're not their contact, you know, and then they're allowed to see your profile picture. But now you gotta have the same contact as me for you to see my profile picture. Otherwise it goes blank on your side, because if I block you too, you know. So yeah, do not change your numbers. Change your numbers completely. Move away, you know. Don't go contacts. Don't just block and be okay with it. Just get out. Get out. Your life is more worth it than anything that you have to keep. Material stuff, it's not important. If you can just pack and just leave with whatever you're wearing, just pack and go. You'll buy new things, you'll get new things. And if you can sneak things out slowly, that'll be very nice before the time, and get yourself prepared, you know what I'm saying. So yeah, this is where the video ends. I'm sorry if it was a little bit longer, but those are just 5 mistakes that I've made, which I'm addressing to you, and I don't want you to make the very same mistakes. Yeah, all right, bye guys. Thank you so much for watching my channel, and consider subscribing and watching to the end. Be part of the family. Bye guys. And guys, I forgot to mention something. Have you been watching this page over here, Woman for Change, on Instagram? Try looking for this at this page. You will see most of these people are unalived by their ex-partners because of telling them where they're going or where they are. Guys, so that's why, yeah, so this is Woman for Change page. You see there, most people that you may know, that I may know, and people that we don't know, they're all here and they're going through this situation. Just careful.